On August 20th, 2007, a young girl was walking on a beach on Jedediah Island, British Columbia, Canada. She found a running shoe. Inside the running shoe was a human foot. It was still wearing a sock. 12 days later, on a beach 60 kilometers away, another foot was found. Also inside a running shoe. Then another, and another, and another. Since 2007, more than 20 detached human feet have washed ashore along the coastline of the Salish Sea, between Canada and the United States. Always inside shoes. Always detached at the ankle. Always with no body attached. Scientists have an explanation for why feet detach. Nobody has been able to fully explain why so many of them keep washing up, and some of the feet have never been identified. This is Unresolved. The Salish Sea is a network of coastal waterways along the Pacific Northwest, stretching from Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada, down through the Puget Sound in Washington State, United States. It is one of the most ecologically rich bodies of water in the world. It is also, as it turns out, one of the most unusual crime and mystery corridors in North America. The coastline of the Salish Sea stretches for thousands of kilometers, dozens of islands, countless beaches, remote coves that see almost no human traffic. When the first foot was found in 2007, it was treated as an isolated curiosity. Strange, certainly, but isolated. When the second foot appeared 12 days later, investigators began to take notice. When the third appeared, and the fourth, and the fifth, it became impossible to ignore. Something was happening in the Salish Sea, and nobody could agree on what it was. Before we go further, let's address the question that everyone asks first. How does a human foot separate from a human body? The answer, unfortunately, is straightforward. When a human body enters water and begins to decompose, the soft tissue at the joints breaks down first. The ankle joint, connecting the foot to the leg, is particularly vulnerable to this process. Modern running shoes and sneakers are designed to be buoyant. They trap air. They float. So when a body decomposes in water, the foot, still inside its buoyant shoe, detaches and floats to the surface. Currents carry it. Eventually, it washes ashore. This is not, in itself, evidence of foul play. Bodies enter water for many reasons: accident, suicide, homicide. The question is not why the feet are detaching. The question is, whose feet are these? And how did so many people end up in the water? Let's go through what investigators have established. The majority of the feet that have been identified belong to people who were reported missing. Individuals who, based on available evidence, entered the water voluntarily or accidentally. Suicide, accidental drowning, people who fell from bridges or boats. The Salish Sea region has a significant number of bridge crossings, including the Port Mann Bridge and the Pattullo Bridge in British Columbia, both of which have been sites of suicide attempts over the decades. Forensic investigators note that the currents of the Salish Sea are complex, capable of carrying objects for hundreds of kilometers before they wash ashore. A body entering the water at one location might deposit its feet on a beach many kilometers away, months or years later. This accounts for many of the feet, but not all of them. Several of the feet found in the Salish Sea have never been matched to any missing person. The DNA does not appear in any database. The shoes, carefully examined for manufacturing clues, have not led to positive identification. These people existed. They had lives. They had families, presumably. And nobody has reported them missing. Why not? There are aspects of this case that the official explanation does not fully account for. The volume. More than 20 feet in less than 2 decades from a single coastal region. Forensic anthropologists who study body decomposition in water note that while detached feet are not unheard of globally, The concentration of cases in the Salish Sea is statistically unusual. Is there something about this specific region, its currents, its geography, its human activity, that explains the concentration? Or is something else happening here? The unidentified cases. As mentioned, several feet have never been matched to any reported missing person. In a world where almost every person has a digital footprint, bank accounts, social media, government records, how does someone disappear so completely that nobody notices they are gone? The 2008 hoax. In 2008, a human foot was found on a beach in British Columbia. It was sent to a laboratory. Forensic examination revealed it was not real. It was a fake foot constructed from animal bones and a stuffed sock inside a shoe. Someone had deliberately created a fake foot and placed it on the beach to be discovered. This tells us something disturbing. There are people who are aware of this phenomenon and are deliberately exploiting it. For what purpose? Amusement? Attention? Something else entirely? And finally, the ongoing nature of the mystery. The feet are still washing up. As recently as 2019, another foot was discovered on a Salish Sea beach. This is not a historical mystery. This is happening now. It is easy, in a case like this, to become focused on the mystery itself, the strangeness of detached feet in running shoes, the coastal geography, the forensic puzzle. But it is worth pausing to remember what each of these feet represents. A person, a life, someone who, for whatever reason, ended up in the cold water of the Salish Sea. For the families of those who have been identified, the discovery of a foot has, in some cases, provided the only confirmation they will ever receive that their loved one is gone. No body, no funeral, just a foot in a shoe on a beach. For the families of the unidentified, the uncertainty is permanent. There is no closure. There is only the ongoing, corrosive not knowing. The Salish Sea region has crisis resources for those struggling with thoughts of self-harm. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out. Links are in the description, because behind every statistic in this case, there is a person who deserved better. 3 main explanations have been proposed. Theory 1. The feet belong entirely to accident and suicide victims whose bodies entered the Salish Sea over many years. The currents concentrate floating objects in specific areas of the coastline. The unidentified cases involve individuals who, for various reasons, homelessness, mental illness, social isolation, were not reported missing. This is the official position of Canadian and American investigators. Theory 2. Some of the feet, particularly the unidentified ones, belong to victims of homicide. The Salish Sea, with its complex currents and remote coastline, would be an effective disposal site for a killer who understood the geography. This theory has never been confirmed, but has never been fully dismissed. Theory 3. Something systematic is happening. Whether a single killer, a criminal organization, or some other pattern of human activity, that is contributing to a higher than expected number of bodies entering the water in this specific region. The truth is, investigators do not know, and until every foot is identified, until every missing person is accounted for, this case remains unresolved. The next time you walk on a beach, look at what the water brings in. Most of the time it's seaweed, sometimes a bottle, occasionally something that makes you stop and stare. 3 people found a shoe on a beach and changed the course of an ongoing mystery. What do you think is happening in the Salish Sea? The comment section is yours. If this kept you up tonight, subscribe to Unresolved. New case every week. I'm Unresolved, and we're just getting started.